I don't know what to say.
Okay, I guess I will get started. How do we start this?
You gotta introduce yourself. Are you saying it or am I saying it? I guess it's your idea. You get to say it.
Okay, I'm gonna say it.
All right, you say it. Do it right now. Tell the people.
Okay, I'm telling. Hello, and welcome to the first episode of the Main Street Game Plan Show. I'm Kaitlyn.
And I'm Jeff.
And we're here to talk about all things Walt Disney World, Disneyland, and even all the international parks as well. We're going to talk strategy, game plan, do's and don'ts, mistakes that we've made along the way to help you have the best and most magical vacation.
It's a salute to all Disney parks, but mostly Walt Disney World, because that's basically where we've been.
Yes, that is correct. Did we introduce ourselves already?
Well, if we didn't, let's do it right now.
Okay, I'm Kaitlyn.
And I remember we did, but I'm still Jeff as of 3 minutes ago.
We are married. Let's stop. No.
Oh, you see, you screwed it up now. We had a thing going.
Okay, well, it's okay. But we need to talk about, like, how we know each other. Like, we're just Kaitlyn and Jeff.
Does the audience really need to know
Probably.
how we know each other?
Probably.
Oh, okay. Well, we're lifelong best friends. Actually, we're not lifelong best friends. We are best friends, but not lifelong.
We're married. We've been married for almost 2 years.
And hopefully at least 20 more.
50.
Close enough.
Anyways, we met in college when we were in college marching band. We've been together probably about 7 years. In total?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I haven't been keeping count.
You probably should. But we weren't always Disney obsessed. And really, we only became Disney obsessed after we went on our honeymoon in 2023. So I guess we'll start from the very beginning of how we got into Disney, our experiences with Disney growing up. So I think you have more than I do, so I'll let you start.
Yeah, I mean, from my origins, we weren't necessarily a Disney family, but we were, we went in 2003, we went in 2007, 2010, I think, were the three. But then I went with the band, high school and college, 6 times or 4 times. It was something around there. So, I had been to Disney almost, 8 or 9 times before you and I went together.
And you had never stayed on property either.
And I have to say, we did go together one time before we became Disney adults.
Yes.
But the plans were kind of scattered, and we were kind of just doing our own thing, so I don't know if that counts. I guess it counts.
Yeah.
But it was more of a, hey, how are you type deal, and that was pretty much it. Yeah. There wasn't too much beyond that.
Yeah.
What about you? I know you didn't go too much, but...
I went to Disney twice as a child. The first time I went, I believe I stayed at the Beach Club. And the only reason I know that is because I remember Stormalong Bay very vividly, and I only wanted to spend time in the pool.
Which is crazy, because I went, 8 more times than you did, or 7 more times, and I never stayed at one Disney resort.
Yeah. And now we are on-property Disney resort loyalists.
We haven't stopped.
We won't stay anywhere else except on property. So anyways, I've stayed at Beach Club. I really don't remember it, though, other than Stormalong Bay. And then I believe we also stayed at Caribbean Beach, and then we did a cruise. This was probably 2007-ish. And I want to say at that point there were only 2 Disney cruise lines. Cruise
Do you remember
ships.
the 2?
I want to say it was the Wonder and the Magic.
Are those the first 2?
I think those are the first 2. If I'm wrong, call me out. And I won't be offended. Because I'm not as knowledgeable about the Disney Cruise Line. Because I've been on one Disney cruise, and I want to say it was the Wonder. We went to Castaway Cay, but really don't remember much about that since I was so young.
Well, you outdid me. My one Disney, I didn't even have a Disney cruise. My one cruise was Carnival, and it was not the poop cruise.
But maybe in the future, we've always wanted to go on a Disney cruise. We might have to do it for educational research purposes.
Research.
Yeah, strictly research. No other means.
We'll need Disney bucks.
We have a Disney money tree in the parking lot of
Do
our
we?
apartment.
I would like to know about this Disney tree, because if we did, we'd go a lot more often.
So fast forward, we met in college. We were in our college marching band, and we went on a bowl trip. Our football team made a bowl game, and it was in Orlando. The first time we went, we actually didn't know each other at that point. We were freshmen in
That was
college.
December of 16.
Yep, it was our freshman year of college. And it was amazing because they gave us park hopper.
Which I didn't even take advantage of,
I
so
did.
I didn't even know that was a
did.
thing.
So where did you go?
I went to Magic Kingdom,
Okay.
and we stayed there until it was time to go, because once again, I didn't know it was a park hopper. How did you know it? How did you find out it was park hopper?
I think we had some knowledgeable Disney people on our bus when we were arriving to Magic Kingdom that said, "Hey, this is park hopper. You don't have to stay in one park."
Like, did it just say, like,
It said
park hopper? Yay.
I'm pretty sure it did.
Oh, that's crazy. That's wild.
So anyways, with my group, we started out in Magic Kingdom. I don't really remember a lot of this because it was around Christmas. Christmas in Disney is crazy, and I think at that point there was like the fast pass system, but maybe not. I didn't know anything about it, neither did anyone in my group. So we were just moseying on around to see which had the shorter lanes for waits. And no one wanted to commit to anything because they didn't want to wait. So I remember we were going to go on Space Mountain, and then we didn't. And I was like, come on, guys, we gotta commit. And we didn't. So we walked around. We did go meet Cinderella. I loved that. That was awesome. We took some pictures in front of the castle. I don't even remember where we ate lunch. And then we ended the day at Hollywood Studios. And this was before Galaxy's Edge was finished. Like way before. I think when we were there the second time.
The second time we went, I remember there were walls that said like Galaxy's Edge coming spring of 2019 or something.
Yeah, so this was 3 years before. I remember we did go to the launch bay, and we met, I think, Chewie.
Chewie's, I think, still there now, isn't he?
And I want to say, maybe not Kylo. I think it was just Chewie. And that was a fun time. Other than that, it was kind of a really scattered trip with no plans. I enjoyed it, but didn't become Disney obsessed. Do you want to start with the second trip we went on? The first trip with us actually together?
I wish I could tell you more about that first trip. I remember going on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and the Swiss Family Treehouse. Like, that was, like, vivid in my brain. I don't even remember where we eat. I think it might have been Pecos Bill, but maybe I'm thinking of high school.
Okay.
And it might not even been that. But yeah, segue into the second one where you and I were together. I think the reason why the Disney didn't really click is because you weren't there. Like, we were together, I think, half the day-ish.
Yeah.
The morning we weren't together, but the second half we were. And we only did, I think, a few things. We didn't have a whole lot of time. Like,
it wasn't a rope drop to park close situation. It was whenever the tour bus got to the park and they said, go have fun, and then be back on the bus by like 9 or 10, and we drove straight back home.
I would say we had like 6 hours. I could be wrong on that.
I mean, it really wasn't a lot of time.
Like, I remember specifically, you rode Tower of Terror. I went to Primetime, 50s Primetime Cafe. We'll talk about that story for the viewers later.
That's a great story.
And then, let's see. What else? We did Star Tours.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to do Rock and Roller Coaster, but our group kind of split up because Rock and Roller Coaster was too long.
It was just it was a lot of people to get on one ride, and people wanted to do different things, so we just decided to split.
I don't know why it feels like, but if I remember right, I think we only did like 2 rides because we did Star Tours, and then we did the Indiana Jones ride. No, we did Muppets together. Did we not? I did.
I didn't.
I remember what it was. So I did Muppets with some friends.
I never knew that.
I did Muppets with some friends, waiting for you guys to get off of Tower of Terror. We did that after we went to Primetime Cafe. We went to do the Muppets because there was no line at that point. And then I think we met up with you guys at Tower of Terror, and then that's when we went to go Star Tours, and then the Indiana Jones stunt show.
Yeah.
And after that, I think we started to go home. We didn't do anything after that, did we?
I don't think so.
And so ends that day. There's another story behind that, but we'll tell the audiences about the end of that whole day later. But I guess we'll fast forward now into the actual Disney adult trip, which would have been the honeymoon.
So before we got married, even really before we got engaged, we knew when we did go on our honeymoon, we wanted to go to Disney. That was a super easy decision to make. So when it came time to start planning our honeymoon, we decided to stay at Pop Century. It was a value resort. It wasn't the cheapest option, but it was basically the second cheapest option because we were balling on a budget, newlyweds, paying for a wedding and then paying for a honeymoon. And we wanted to go for a whole week.
I want to preface this by saying I had no idea what any of this stuff was at that point. Like, she said Pop Century, and I said, okay, and there's no strings attached. I literally knew nothing about the resort. I didn't know anything about value, moderate, or deluxe, or anything like that. It was just you drove everything.
I did a lot of research because I didn't really know anything either at the time. Really, from childhood, I didn't know anything about what a moderate versus what a deluxe or a value was. So planning this first trip together is where I think I learned a lot. Even then, though, I look back now and I didn't know nearly amount of stuff. And we made a lot of mistakes in that trip. But it was still, a fantastic trip.
I guess you can go in. We'll start with the flight there on our honeymoon. We came down and everything was fine. There wasn't anything too crazy on the flight.
Yeah.
That had been my first flight though in like 5 years.
Oh yeah, me too. I typically didn't fly commercial at that time because I had family that was a pilot.
Yeah.
And so I really didn't do commercial. Probably had been my first commercial flight since like 10 years.
Yeah.
We did our research online and decided that Mears Connect would be the best option for us. We are not, at this time we weren't big travelers. So getting from the airport from MCO to our hotel with the Mears Connect bus, not sponsored, although maybe they will one day. We just really like Mears. It was easy. It was cheap. I think for round trip for the two of us, it was probably around $60. So pretty affordable. We didn't wait very long. We got super entertainment videos on the bus on the way to the hotel.
Yeah. And it's changed now.
Yeah.
Like, I think they just put movies on now. But before, with like you said, they still had the videos from COVID. And let me tell you, like, I know some people might ignore that stuff, but like, just even then, just being in Florida and being not in the state we were in, I guess it was West Virginia at the time, like, it was just such a fun change of pace, and we were so excited. So we just took such a liking to the random, like, 5-year outdated COVID videos that said, please wash your hands, even though it was 3 years later at the time.
I think we were also just, like, running on adrenaline because we left the day after our wedding straight from West Virginia to Florida. And I don't know about you, but like everything was still kind of a blur. And I remember we were at the airport and I'm like, we're literally on our way to Disney World for a whole week. Like this is going to be incredible. And I remember specifically sitting on the Mears bus on our way to Pop Century thinking, we're actually here. We made this trip happen.
Yeah, I mean, kind of going off of that, my first thought, I had two thoughts. The first one was, wow, we're going to Disney World. That's pretty cool. And the second thought was, holy cow. It was like my first adult moment. And that sounds so stupid, but like it was the first big trip that you and I had ever been on alone.
Yeah.
Like before we had gone on trips just either with family or whatever, but like we made this entire week-long vacation trip alone, 14 states away. I don't even know how many states away, but thousands of miles away.
Yeah.
And it's just wild to think, oh my gosh, we did this. We made it happen. And that was kind of cool too.
Yeah, I mean, we were looking at Life 360, and there was all of our family up north in West Virginia, and we're all down in Florida, and we're like, okay, we got to survive here for a whole week.
Yeah, it's surreal. Like that first moment that you do on your own, whether you like do like a solo trip on your own or you do it with someone else, it's just wild to think. Because I didn't take a senior trip in high school. So like,
Yeah.
I had never done this with friends other than like our Memorial Day trips with friends.
Yeah.
But like, that wasn't planned on you and I. And like, we had like one part of that.
Yeah. And like even like I went on a senior trip when I graduated high school, but it was basically our family vacation, and I got to bring a friend, which was Ashley.
Yeah, so
our really good friend Ashley, who hopefully might be a special guest on a future episode because we like to go to Disney with her and her husband Braxton a lot too.
Still the best trip we've ever been on.
Yes. And we'll talk about that because that was truly the most goated trip we've ever been on.
I agree.
So
we now made it to the hotel.
We've made it.
We're off the bus.
To the bowling pins and the Petals pool bar. You want to talk about, we took a walk when we first got to the resort. And you want to just talk about the feelings we had?
So, like I prefaced before, I had never seen a Disney hotel, I guess, other than the Contemporary.
Honestly,
or like the Grand Floridian, just because we went to Magic Kingdom. But
I don't even think I showed you any pictures.
You didn't. I had no idea.
I was like, we're staying here. I don't think I looked up anything. I'm like, yeah, Pop's Entry sounds good. Price is decent. We'll just stay there.
I was expecting like a Holiday Inn. Like, just like normal, I don't even know why I didn't expect theming. Like I said, I was just completely out in left field here. Yeah. But like, I just saw the big, massive bowling pins, the big yo-yos, the massive lifelike. I think there's a Lady in the Tramp sculpture.
In the 50 section. So we got to stay in the 50 section. To date, we have never stayed in the 50s ever again. Typically, when we go, we're balling on a budget because we like to go as much as we can. So we'll save money on hotels. So I know like the preferred room is close to the pool in the classic hall. And I want to say that the 50 section is like a high demand because it's so close to the classic hall and also the Skyliner.
50s and 60s, I'd say. Maybe even 70s. I haven't heard too many people. The 80s, it gets dicey. And then the 90s is just way below.
Yeah. So we were just like walking around seeing like this big old bowling pin. There's a bowling pin shaped pool. That was incredible. And it was so warm when we went swimming one evening. The Rubik's Cubes, and
I was just shocked.
It's kind of shocking when you're going from just normal everyday life to larger than life.
To massive cubes.
Yeah, I mean, it was incredible. So, that was kind of our first experience really with a Disney resort.
I think that had a long way of going towards Disney adults. Because like I said, we had just gone to the parks beforehand, but like getting immersed in the Disney before you even step foot in the park, that set the scene completely.
Yeah. So we're super excited, gearing up for our first park day. And we've done enough research to know our goal on our honeymoon was rope drop to park close every single day. We were there. We wanted to spend 14 hours in the parks every day. That was what we wanted to do on our honeymoon. I know a lot of people want to go and lay on a beach all week and just have like a super relaxing trip. That is not what we wanted. We wanted to have fun and make memories. So you want to talk about our experience getting into Magic Kingdom on the first day?
So this kind of once again, like this whole theme of this first video is inexperience and learning your way and basically being immersed in Disney for the first time, just the two of us, and you're trying to handle things. I didn't know what a magic band was.
And I really didn't either. I had done some research and I'm like, oh, we don't need it. We'll be fine. They give us like the little key card that we use with our hotel. Like, we'll save some money. We don't need it. Boy, we needed it and we panicked. So we got to the front of the line to scan in to get into the park and we had no idea what to do. did I try to pull up our tickets on my phone?
You tried to use the app, and then
it didn't work. And then people behind us were getting mad, and because we were holding up the line, and we started to panic.
I don't even know what we thought. I think we thought we would use the tickets on the app to.
And like, I thought there was like a barcode or something you could scan, but maybe I'm wrong because we don't do it that way now because we know better. Key. Yeah. So we finally got in. We were all like scrambled. We were just super nervous, high on energy, had no idea what we were doing. So we kind of had to like stop, take it all in. There's the castle. We're in the park. And I think we took a quick break just to get Starbucks and like get our bearings.
Yeah, because we were just distraught. Kaitlyn was having a panic attack.
Not really, but kind of.
there were so many people, and she started to get flustered.
I mean, it's just overwhelming. There's so many people. Most people, I feel like at least most people like at least act like they know what they're doing. And here's me and Jeff. We had no idea what we were doing, so. You know, it's just like pure shock. You get in and it's just so much.
So yeah, you got, I think you got coffee.
We got coffee. We decided to go, we had, what was it? The memory maker. We got pictures in front of the castle because we went into early entry.
Well, at the time, we didn't think we had early entry. We got the pictures at the park because we were super excited and we said, we have so much time because we're not deluxe resort goers, which means we don't get early entry. So we spent all this time. And then the first thing I thought was, man, they're allowing a lot of people over into Tomorrowland. That's really weird. Why don't we try that? And like, this was like 20 minutes into early entry. This was not the start. This was like 20 minutes.
Don't be like us.
And we just decided to try it. And they let us in. And I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. We just wasted 20 minutes for nothing.
Yeah. So if you're staying on property from value, moderate, deluxe, DVC, villas, whatever, you get that 30-minute early theme park entry and use it because typically now, I mean, we can get on 2, maybe 3 rides in 30 minutes if we're being really efficient. So once we did finally figure that out, I think we went to Space Mountain first. Is that what you remember?
We did. No.
Did we go to the Carousel Progress?
No. Hold on. So if I'm remembering right, I could be completely wrong in this, but if I remember right, Space Mountain already had a long wait.
Okay.
So if I remember, we went to the Space Ranger Spin first.
Really?
We went to Space Ranger Spin.
Okay.
Then I think we did Carousel of Progress. Then I want to say we did Tomorrowland Speedway, and then Space Mountain was in there somewhere. I could be wrong. I don't have any like super crazy memory, but if I remember right, those were rides that had very small wait times. Mm-hmm. Fun fact about the Space Ranger Spin that we actually just figured out. The Space Ranger Spin ride, for you old Disney goers, it used to be Delta Dream Flight. Mm-hmm. Next time you go into Space Ranger Spin, look up at the artwork of the initial, right before you go in those double doors. If you look at the artwork, it's in the shape of a cloud. That's because Disney, when they remodeled and refurbished Delta Dream Flight into Space Ranger Spin, the cloud was just supposed to be like the plane flying on a cloud, and they just painted over the cloud and created the Disney artwork for Buzz Lightyear and all that. So
honestly, I don't even think I knew that. Because, I don't think I ever did that ride. If I did, I don't remember it at all. But, I mean, maybe the next time we go, I think Buzz is supposed to be closed. So they'll probably get rid of that at some point. Yeah. So, I don't know. This might be a show our age because it's not even relevant. But fun fact for all of you that maybe are going soon.
Look at that cloud.
Yeah, look at the cloud.
Look at the cloud.
But we pretty much hit everything in Tomorrowland first. That usually is our strategies. We tend to hit everything kind of in the area, but I think now that we're more familiar with multi-pass and single pass, lightning lanes, we tend to boomerang around the park, which maybe isn't the most efficient, but if wait times are low, we're going to go hit it up so we don't have to wait as long.
You also, like, since you're able to pick a lot of your lightning lanes, if you decide to do multi-pass, you don't have to necessarily pick the next available wait time.
Yeah.
You could always pick one at like 10 a.m. and then ride all the small stuff around that area first. And that way you wouldn't have to ping pong all over the place. You could go one and then just have the big ones first. So like if you wanted to pick Space Mountain first at 10 a.m. and then ride all the small ones in Tomorrowland, then move on to like Peter Pan's Flight. Or something, if you're in Magic Kingdom, then you could do something like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea too. Any other main thoughts from that first day of our honeymoon?
First day, Carousel of Progress really, like, that hit you hard.
That's my ride.
Pinocchio's Village House, too.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I know that's a polarizing thing, and a lot of people don't like it for what it is. I had a great time. I think I had a Caesar salad, and I had like a margarita pizza.
That pizza was bussin'.
At that point, we were so flustered. That was the first moment that we locked in. Like, we said, okay, everything is not falling apart.
Yeah, we got this. We built our confidence.
And from there, like, the rest of the day really went well. Yeah. And, like, the fireworks, I think we both cried.
Yeah, that's how we knew. We were like, okay, this has a profound effect on us, and we're probably going to want to do this the rest of our lives.
Do you have any other thoughts on day one?
I'm going to go back to the Carousel Progress, because that is one of my most favorite rides at Disney World. I love the story behind it. I love that it's an iconic Walt ride. You know, that's something that he did. It was at the 1964 World's Fair that I was at, right?
You sure were.
I was there.
You were there.
What else?
What are you laughing about?
So Jeff he got me this shirt for Valentine's Day. I think it was after our honeymoon, and it was, I forget who created it. I think you got it off of Etsy.
It was, I want to say it was Main Street Tourist.
Yeah, so check them out. Not sponsored, but big fans of them. Would like to meet them one day.
I need to get their Living with the Land t-shirt.
Yes, you do.
We'll talk more about that at Epcot.
They have really creative stuff. I like to get Jeff t-shirts, and I mean, he does too. So he got me one for Valentine's Day, and it was themed to the Carousel of Progress. Last Christmas, I actually got Carousel of Progress mini ears, and I wore those on our trip in last February. So that's one of my favorite rides. I love the song, super catchy. If they ever take that out, I will be depressed.
I guess moving on to day two. Day two was Animal Kingdom, and we like to have a park order. You don't need to do this it's all up to your own preference, but we had a park order. For some reason, like, we just feel strongly about Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Rest Day, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios. I don't know why we feel strongly about those days, I guess. Because we do the full park day for all of them, but...
Yeah, I think what we thought is... So the first park day, you know, when you're thinking of Disney World, it's obviously Magic Kingdom. I honestly feel like it's a sin if you don't go to Magic Kingdom the first day.
A lot of people want it last, though, which is... Listen, that's their preference, but I mean, I agree. Yeah. I think you want to do Magic Kingdom first.
Started out strong. That's the most iconic park. So then we were thinking... You know, that was a long day. That was like 14 hours in the park. We were exhausted. We had walked a lot. So let's pick another park that maybe is less of a strain on us. We're still going to be in the full rope drop to park close. So we said, let's do Animal Kingdom. It does open earlier, but it closes a lot earlier. So we had some time either to go have a nice dinner or, go back to the pool and rest or go to bed early or whatever we wanted.
And let me say, the morning of the Animal Kingdom day, which would have been day two, that was the last morning that we felt nervous. Here's what I mean by that. We got the tickets, those little cards that were, I guess, linked to our account. For some reason, I thought maybe you needed another set of cards for the second day. Like, you needed a new set of cards for every single park day.
I remember
so
that.
I was nervous that that morning at Animal Kingdom that, oh no, it's not, it's going to happen again. These cards are not going to swipe because they were from Magic Kingdom. We're going to have to go get new cards again
Yeah.
for Animal Kingdom. But
Yeah.
once those cards swiped and we were in, that was the last time I think we were nervous for the whole rest of the vacation.
Yeah. Really the only, well, I remember a couple of things from that park day. We took a lot of pictures with PhotoPass. We really wanted to get our money's worth, so I feel like we took like every single photo opportunity we could. I remember the lunch we had was at Flame Tree Barbecue, and it was okay. I mean, there was a bird that was trying to steal my meal the entire time, which honestly was kind of a fun time with it being Animal Kingdom. But I'm not the biggest barbecue fan, but it was okay.
If you're a barbecue fan, I highly recommend it. I think it's good for families to enjoy. You get a lot of food, and if you're a barbecue fan like me, then I think it's a slam dunk. If you're not really a barbecue fan, that might not be the first place you go, but I mean, it's also kind of obvious that if you're not a barbecue fan, why are you going to go to a place called Flame Tree Barbecue?
True. And kind of a common theme that we'll talk about a lot with Animal Kingdom, we are not the biggest fan of their food. We tend to struggle. Speaking of food, you want to talk about Satuli Canteen?
Yeah, I know. That's everyone's favorite. Listen, I don't understand it.
I don't get it either. We don't like it.
She got I think the wood chicken bowl, and we both tasted each other's bowl. I think I got the moon bowl.
Yeah.
Which had, I think, cold noodles, which honestly you would think, okay, like, you're expecting cold noodles, so that's a shock, so you would hate it just from that. I just didn't like the taste.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the taste of your chicken either. And I don't understand why we're the only people. Now, I've heard the steam pods are to die for, but we are not big pickle people.
No.
So that would understand why we don't go near the steam pods. And that's like half their menu.
I know. And like with the pickle thing, we also don't really care for the egg rolls in Magic Kingdom. We tried those. It's too much pickle. Not for us. Now,
don't get me wrong. If you guys are pickle fans, I'm sure the steam buns from Satuli and the cheeseburger spring rolls are gospel.
Yeah.
Like, I would second that.
I don't know what it is about Animal Kingdom. I just think that the way that they make their grilled chicken, I just don't like it. It's like a pulled chicken. I don't really care for the taste. I wish it was different. I don't really think I have that experience in the rest of the parks. But for whatever reason, like if we're in Animal Kingdom, I'm avoiding pulled chicken because I just don't like it.
Do you have any other thoughts from day 2 for Animal Kingdom?
No, I mean...
it had been years since I had been to Animal Kingdom, so everything was completely new to me.
Yeah, I mean, the safari is incredible. That was one of my favorite parts of that day. And where did we go for dinner that day? But that was Satuli, wasn't it?
It had to have been because we went to Flame Tree Barbecue for lunch. Maybe it was flipped. Maybe we did Flame Tree Barbecue for dinner. And
no, I think it was lunch. But I want to say we were so unsatisfied with Satuli that we ended up either going to Art of Animation to get something else for dinner or something else because we were just needing something else to hold us over until the morning.
My final thoughts is Navi River Journey. Once again, I guess we're the polarizing family. A lot of people don't like Navi River Journey. Man, we were attracted to that one from day one.
Yeah, that is our girl. That animatronic, so expensive. It's incredible the amount of technology that went into making that.
There's just something about the animatronic going, it captures me. And like at that point, we had waited a long time for the Flight of Passage that when we went right on, like we got right on a Navi River Journey and it was cool. It was the morning. The sun wasn't down on us. I felt the air conditioning hit me. And then our girl, the shaman, was at the end.
And one thing I failed to mention on this trip, we didn't use, at the time, it was Genie Plus. We didn't use any of it because we didn't know how to.
We just fast walked everywhere.
We waited in lines forever. So there was some stuff we just didn't get to, especially in Magic Kingdom, because there's just so much to do. We've gotten better at it now. We swear by lightning lanes. But you don't need them in all the parks. I don't think you need them at Animal Kingdom, especially now that we're getting close to the new Pueblo Esperanza And they're closing down, Dinosaur and the rest of Dinerland USA. So there's not going to be as much to do in Animal Kingdom. So I would save your money on buying multi-pass for that park. I don't think the wait times are that bad, especially if you're there at Rope Drop and doing all the Pandora rides first and prioritizing that.
I guess we could skip on to day 3. Day 3 was our rest day. I highly recommend having as many rest days after park days as possible. Listen, I get if you're there, if you're balling on a budget, or you don't have a whole lot of time, I totally get it. Like,
Yeah.
we sometimes run into that too, where we just don't have the time. But I highly recommend as many rest days after park days just to recharge your legs so you're not just hurting. But I guess highlights of that, I don't even remember what we did. What did we do for the first part? I know what we did in the second part.
We went to Disney Springs. And we walked around, hit up World of Disney, did some shopping. We went to Chicken Guy for lunch, and that was great. Guy Fieri, we love him. I do think they took away some of the sauces. There was a lot more than they used to have, so that was kind of a disappointment. But like overall, our food was great.
Let me tell you that we're still constantly learning, just like everyone else here. There's so many restaurants at Disney Springs and bakeries and sandwich shops. Like we probably haven't even scratched the surface. I mean, just to name a few: Earl of Sandwich.
Yeah.
Let's see, Gideon's Bakehouse, Summer House on the Lake. I think there's that Ghirardelli. I don't even know how to spell it. That chocolate shop we saw on one of the Disney Plus shows. That's 4 or 5. Homecoming at
For
that
dinner.
point. All of those we had never even heard of.
Yeah, we didn't even know
at the time of the honeymoon, and we still have yet to try them now. Like we are still working on Disney Springs.
There's just so many options.
Polite Pig, that's another one.
Yeah,
I mean,
we haven't eaten there yet, but it's on our list.
Tons. Maria and Enzo's, I think, is over there. I mean, it is a laundry list, but we will get to there as soon as we can.
Yeah.
But highlights of the rest day. We went to California Grill, I believe, that night.
Oh, and it was good. It's not my favorite. Now that we've gone to Disney for a couple years now, we've eaten at a lot of other places. Honestly, I might get roasted for this, but I die on this. Steakhouse 71 is better than California Grill, and it's cheaper. I said what I said.
I don't know if the ambiance at California Grill is definitely better than the ambiance at Steakhouse 71.
Well, yeah, of course. You can't beat being at the top of the...
Contemporary.
Yeah, you can't beat that. But I thought the food was better at Steakhouse 71.
I would agree. Now, I got a steak at both places. I don't remember too much how my steak tasted at California Grill. But Steakhouse 71, that thing melted in your mouth with that red wine sauce.
The sauce is, and we were on the dining plan for that trip, and we got the dessert included, and we got the chocolate cake, and it was amazing. So that's a definite one. We're going to go back. California Grill, I don't know if I'd go back anytime soon. Maybe if, something new happened, or we are annual pass holders now. So if there was some kind of discount where we could take advantage of, we might go back, but no plans anytime soon to go.
And don't get me wrong, the California Grill food was good. So like, it's not like it's terrible food. Listen, it was good food. There's a lot of good food at Disney, and that was good food. Steakhouse 71 just had better food.
Yeah,
I would say in my eyes, but that was pretty much. We watched the fireworks on the balcony of the California Grill. They let us go out.
Yeah, we did that.
The observation deck.
That was really cool. And if you eat dinner or lunch anytime before the fireworks and you want to come back, you just have to show that you dined there that day. You can go back and they'll let you watch the fireworks on the balcony. So that's pretty cool.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But we timed it to where we could see the fireworks while we were there. So that all worked out.
Day 4. Were we on day 4?
That was our Epcot
1,
day?
2, 3. Yeah. Yes, day 4 was Epcot. That was rough physically.
This is probably kind of gross, but newlyweds, deep in love. We went to the front of the park at Epcot, and we're rubbing each other's feet because we were in so much pain.
I mean, every time you took a step on that ground that 4th day, shoots of pain.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't walk without pain in your foot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how else to describe it. You couldn't walk normally. You were just
Yeah.
in pain.
And we've gotten better with trying to, prevent blisters and saving our feet. We're still trying out new products because the last time I went, my feet were just a disaster. I don't know about yours, but for our upcoming Disneyland trip, it's not as long, but I got some new things that I found on Amazon, like the athletic tape. I got some different hydrocolloid, if that's how you say it, Band-Aids that prevent blisters. So we'll let you know how it goes. Hopefully it's better. But that was, we've come leaps and bounds from when that first trip and we were sitting in the front of Epcot rubbing each other's feet.
Yeah. Highlights from that day.
That was the only time we've ever ridden Test Track together. The rest of the times it was closed for Test Track 3.0 refurbishment.
I think it was also temporarily down when we went back in October.
It was also down. So we've only actually ridden it together once. We're looking forward to our next Disney World trip in October, getting to finally ride Test Track 3.0.
Other highlights include, I'm not a roller coaster fan by any means. I'm not the biggest fan. But let me tell you guys, one of my favorite rides of all time is Cosmic Rewind for the Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's just a vibe.
I mean, you're singing along. It's not super crazy. It's a backwards launch, so I mean, it is a little crazy, but like for people that aren't huge roller coaster fans, I think you're still fine. I highly recommend going on it. I mean, it was just amazing. It's still one of my favorite rides.
It's one of my favorite rides too. I'm a coaster junkie. I grew up going to Cedar Point a lot, so I love fast. I love drops. I know Disney isn't world renowned for having the most adventurous roller coasters or rides, but I was really, really excited about Cosmic Rewind. I love the fact that you can get a different song when you ride. It took us a few tries, but we finally got September in our last trip in February, and that was just like, we just looked at each other and we were like, oh my gosh, we got September, like this is incredible, and it made it so special.
I remember right beforehand we talked, because we were with our family members, extended family.
Yeah.
And the first thing we talked about, I swear no more than like an hour before, was like, oh yeah, like by far, like the least probability you're ever going to get is going to be September. Like,
and we got it.
Nobody gets September. You get September. Of course, their first time.
Yeah, it was iconic. And unfortunately with that trip, we had, it was a whole family, extended family. We had our nephews, we had, the grandparents on there. The grandparents decided to ride it, and I feel terrible that a couple people got pretty sick on that ride. I'm someone who gets pretty motion sick. I at first started with Dramamine, and I've learned that, what is it called? Meclizine is a much better, works much better for me. One thing we didn't mention about this trip, I hit 3 out of 4 of the first aid stations at Disney, and I was pretty proud of that achievement. I don't know if that's something I should be proud of, but for either going for medicine or to get more Band-Aids for our aching feet, I hit all 3 of them. I did not go to the one in Magic Kingdom because that was the first day.
You still haven't gone?
I still haven't gone. I'm going to have to go next time, so I can say I've hit them all. I think the Epcot one was my favorite. And they're all super nice in there, very helpful. It's,
and they're hidden too, so
yeah, it's kind of out of the way. I remember Hollywood Studios was super hidden. It's right at the front of the park, but it's, you have to go looking for it, which probably isn't the best if it's more of an emergency situation, but they were very quick and easy, and it was free. I mean, I didn't have to pay to, any medicine or anything, so that was great.
I'd say probably the last highlight was Teppan Edu. And it was, the funny part about Teppan Edu is, I mean, it was just an amazing restaurant. It's still one of my favorite hibachis of all time.
I mean, you can't go wrong with hibachi. We are big Benihana people. We swear by Benihana. We go there for all of our celebrations and all of our birthdays. But Teppan Edu was one of the best hibachi restaurants I've ever been to.
I mean, it's definitely up there in the top 3.
We do have plans to go again in April when we're going with one of our friends on a Disney trip. So we'll let you know if it's still holding up to the standards back when we had it in 2023.
We did something really cool accidentally on that Tepanidu reservation. So this was one of those unfortunately, when we scheduled it super late because we wanted to make sure we were hungry. We accidentally missed the nighttime spectacular.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it was at the time.
I don't know either.
But we missed the nighttime spectacular while we were eating. And when we got out, the park was closed.
Yeah, and people were trying to escort us out because I think at that point maybe there was probably extended evening hours for deluxe guests. I mean,
it was like 9:30 at that point.
And that wasn't us obviously because we're hanging out at Pop.
And the park was empty, and that was one of the coolest experiences of all time. An empty Disney park all to yourself at night.
It was so cool.
We didn't even completely by accident.
Yeah.
We did that.
We didn't even think about the nighttime spectacular. It was kind of cool. Like there wasn't a lot of lights on.
No, just dim light.
Yeah.
They were starting to turn some things off. Everything was closed, and you're just walking, and it's just super peaceful.
Yeah, it was great. Highly recommend doing that.
I will say one thing that we didn't run into on the honeymoon, but we did run into. Make sure if you're going to do the Skyliner back to any resort, you either run to the Skyliner and be the first people in, or you just decide to take 2 hours and sightsee and take whatever you need, because that Skyliner can really back you up if you decide to get in with the rest of the crowd. But we won't cover that on this episode.
Yeah, I mean, take some time, go in some shops, just get in the vibes before you have to leave Epcot, because you don't want to wait in line longer than you have to, so you might as well just enjoy some extra time in the park.
And then that basically we basically run into our last day, which was day 5. Last day at Disney, which was Hollywood Studios. The physicality won that day.
Yeah, we were pretty done.
We did rope drop it.
We rope dropped it. We did not stay to the end. We did not see Fantasmic.
We didn't even come close.
No.
We left, I think, at 5:00. But do you want to talk about some of the highlights we did see? That was the first time we did Rise of the Resistance and Galaxy's Edge.
Jeff is a bigger Star Wars fan than I am. I've seen most of the movies, at least parts of all of them, and I was raised with exposure to Star Wars, so I understand all of it, and I thought it was super cool. I mean, the amount of technology and the funds that they put into Galaxy's Edge. But I think the most iconic thing, for us at least, about Galaxy's Edge was the overnight oats. And would you like to say it with me?
We are an overnight oats and a Ronto Wrap family now.
So that changed our life, and that was completely by accident.
Shout out Ronto Roasters.
Yes.
Though we did not get a Ronto Wrap on the honeymoon. We just got the overnight oats.
Yeah.
But we added the Ronto Wrap, I think, either in October or maybe it was next July.
Yeah.
Of 24. But it was amazing.
Yeah, the overnight oats. I mean, I've had overnight oats at other places. We had them at Pop Century I think the morning we left to come back home, and there's just nothing like it. Like, you got the boba pearls in it, the dragon fruit.
Dragon fruit.
It was just so good, and it's always on our go-to list every time we go. I mean, we're really looking forward when we go to Disneyland in a couple weeks that there's a Ronto Roasters there too, and you betcha we're gonna go get
some overnight oats and a Ronto Wrap.
Yeah, exactly.
I've also I'm not sure. I don't think this is at Ronto Roasters. I think it's at the coffee place that's right next to Ronto Roasters.
No, and I don't know what that's called.
That's where you can get the Black Calf.
Yes.
Coffee. Highly recommend that. Make sure you get the extra foam, because what everyone says is true. Get the extra foam so it's a little sweeter. Yeah. It's a little bitter, but if you add the foam, it tastes pretty good.
Yeah, and we got that last time, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, that was my first time getting it. I'm not a blue milk guy, but if you like coconut, then blue milk might be up your alley. You're a coconut girly, right?
Yeah, I am.
Did you like that blue milk?
It was all right. I don't know if I'd get it again, but I mean, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't like Pickle-Aid.
Yeah.
If you ever had Pickle-Aid, you probably get what I'm saying, but it is not good.
Other highlights. I don't think we made it to dinner. We went to the ABC commissary and we highly recommend.
I think that was our dinner, and we were like, oh well.
Did we not do lunch?
We.
Oh no, we did ABC commissary for dinner, and lunch was Docking Bay 7.
That's right. I couldn't tell you where Docking Bay 7 is even now. I don't know where it is, but it's there somewhere. We ate there.
And it was good food, but honestly, we need to go back there to actually tell everyone how good it was. I don't remember a whole lot about it.
Life hack. I got a kid's meal for lunch because I wasn't super hungry. It was hot, but I needed to eat something to keep me going throughout the day. So I got a kid's meal at Docking Bay 7, and it was pretty good. It was a spaghetti and meatball dish, and it was pretty good.
I don't even know if I got any. I think I got some chicken dish. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, we'll have to go back.
Yeah.
ABC commissary was really good. That was for dinner.
Yes.
I got, I think, a shrimp taco or something. I don't know. It was amazing. Did you get the buffalo grilled cheese the first day?
I did, and I got this, I want to say it was like an arugula side salad. The whole meal was delicious. We need to go back at some point to go get that buffalo grilled cheese. It was just so good. I dream about it sometimes. It's so good.
We had lunch, but at that point, that was the end.
Yeah,
we didn't do
tired.
anything.
We were so tired.
Our bodies finally won at that point, and we
Yeah.
just went home.
Yeah.
I don't even remember whether we did we even do Rock and Roller Coaster that day?
I think we did.
We might have.
We didn't do Mickey's Train, aka Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Because again, we didn't do lightning lanes, and the wait was just way too crazy that day.
Yeah, I think it was like an hour and a half or something, and we just didn't feel like waiting anymore. We were just tired.
Yeah, I don't even think we did Slinky Dog that trip too, because at that point, the wait times were crazy, and we didn't want to wait 2 hours for that ride. And honestly, I wouldn't recommend doing that either, unless that is a must-do. You want to do this before leaving on your trip.
Now, that was the end of our Disney part. Now, that was not the end of our honeymoon. We went to Universal the next day, and we rode some rides. Kaitlyn got sick on the Harry Potter, I don't remember which Harry Potter ride it was. It was at Islands of Adventure.
The one with all the screens, and I, 5 days of going to parks, and it was just a lot.
We didn't make it much more than, I think, we made it even less than we did at Hollywood Studios. I think we left at like 3 o'clock. We took an Uber over.
No, I think we made it long enough because we went to Bubblegum's for dinner.
And then we went to it was the Voodoo Donuts.
Oh, and that was really good. If you're ever at City Walk, I always feel like now when we go to Universal, which we are planning to go to Epic Universe in April, that I'm cheating on Disney when I go to Universal. But, it's good to see both parks because there's some stuff at Universal. Velocicoaster is one of my favorites I've ever ridden.
The Hulk was one of my favorites as well.
Remember
Hagrid's motorbike was good.
And I love Butterbeer. That's great. Remember when we went on the Spider-Man ride and it said on the sign, like, if you are subject to motion sickness, you should not ride this ride. And Jeff was like, you didn't see that.
Yeah, it's fine. I had ridden it before when I went to Universal, and I didn't think the ride was that bad. And you didn't get nearly as sick as...
I think there was like one part where I was like, oh, but, most of it was fine.
The one highlight I'd say, and the one tip about Universal that relates to Disney is, I believe there's a Disney shuttle that goes to Universal now. Is that correct?
It's the Lynx Public Transit with Orlando. I believe it costs like $2 to ride it, and it'll pick you up, I want to say, at Disney Springs, and it'll take you to Universal. You can't... I think they also offer this option from the airport or something like that. You can't bring luggage on the Link system, because I think some people were trying to think of it as a cheaper alternative to Uber or Mears, but I think we're planning on using that when we go to Universal next April, so we'll let you know how it is.
That was pretty much it, because then the next day, which would have been Sunday, we had that was our leave day. And we had left, I say pretty early.
Yeah, we did. We were running to the Mears bus stop because at that point we took like an earlier flight. Now when we go to Disney, it's the first flight out of Pittsburgh and the last flight out of MCO, because we just want to maximize our time there.
I guess the one thing that I would say about our leave day that is important for people to know is if you decide to do Mears, you need to remember that if they're taking you to the airport, they're going to show up like 3 hours before your departure time for your flight.
Yeah.
So if you want to stay longer and you don't want to get to the airport as early as they take you, then you'll probably want to Uber or Lyft or something. You'll want to do something like that instead of Mears, because Mears will pick you up pretty early.
Yeah.
And you could probably maximize another 2 hours if you ended up Ubering.
Yeah.
That doesn't really bother us because we take the last flight out,
Yeah.
so we're pretty much good to go by the time we hit that point. But if you have like an early flight, and let's say your flight leaves at 6 and you want to do Mears, they're not picking you up at 5. They're going to pick you up at like possibly 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So just know that they're going to pick you up early.
And I remember we were at the gate at the airport on our way home, and we were looking at bounce back offers for Disney. And if you don't know what a bounce back offer is, that means if you book a trip in the future, anytime after the end of your trip to 7 days, you can get a discount to come back. So at that point we were addicted, and we were like, we need to come back as soon as possible. And we decided to book a trip. This was in August of 2023, so we came back in October when our college sports team were playing UCF in Orlando. So we decided to make a trip out of it. And from there on, we really try to go to Disney. Our goal is once a quarter. Sometimes it's a little more, sometimes it's less.
We need more money to
we do
go.
need more money. I wish, but you know, we're trying new things where we just became annual pass holders, so now we don't have to pay for theme park tickets. Another life hack we have is we fly almost exclusively Southwest, so we have a credit card and put all of our purchases on it to get those points so we can redeem them for free flights. Jeff is trying to convince me to go on Spirit for maybe some of our shorter trips or our one-day benders, which we'll talk about that, where we're not really checking a lot of luggage or any at all, to just fly Spirit, and that way it's a cost-effective trip. So we'll see if you ever get me on Spirit. I'm a little scared from what I've heard, but you know, I guess I should try it at least once.
That's true, but I think that pretty much wraps up our episode here, because that's the end of the honeymoon, and that'll be pretty much the crux of what started everything. So
yeah.
You have anything else you want to tell the viewers before we end this here?
Well, I hope you've learned from some of our mistakes that we made on this first trip. You know, I feel like have gotten a lot better at our planning strategies, really because there was none on this first trip. But excited to share kind of what we like to do now, things that we've learned, upcoming trips that we're planning on. But, you know, we would appreciate it if you could subscribe to our channel. This is brand new. We're hoping to grow it and build a community here with people who are like us and love Disney, and want to just maximize their time there and have the best trip as they can.
Sounds good. Well, thank you guys for watching. And that's pretty much all I got. Thank you for watching this first episode. Hopefully we'll have many more.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later.
See you guys. Bye.